have collapsed. And the president is AWOL. And we have $15 trillion we pass. Every day it gets worse. And they are not doing anything to stop what is the country's perception of real decline and real disaster. And they just keep kicking the can down the road. Reading the papers today was so depressing because for them, it's just politics as usual.
What do you make, though, Pat, of the argument
future of the country?
That, look, this is stuff that we can readily agree on, we can try to quickly address. The big debt stuff that Pat's alluding to, far more cumbersome. But if we can improve things at the margin for Americans, better than just leaving this town having done nothing.
Well, I'll tell you, this is an idea, the instinct for the capillary that dominates our politics is solving the capillary of our problems rather than going the jugular is ridiculous. And I have to say, you know, that people care about re-election and they care about politics. Our president does. I've never really seen a president who has been so unengaged. And, you know, yesterday I had a piece with Doug Schoen urging him to step aside for Hillary Clinton for the very reason that somebody needs to do something and worry about re-election and the division between these two parties. This is not a problem that can be kicked down the road. We haven't done anything.
But a lot of folks haven't done anything, right? Both parties botched it on trying to come up with a deal.
No, I'm taking both.
So then what do? Do you just throw all the bums out?
I think right now the dominant instinct in this country, if they had an alternative, would be to throw them all out. I think the political elite has failed the country. I think a serious, I think a candidate, people laugh. I think a Donald Trump could do well. I think anybody, I could name you half a dozen people could do well in challenging this. Right now, the American people are saying the political leadership of this country has failed, and all they care about is beating up on each other. No one seems to have an idea about reversing the decline, whether it's in our economy or jobs, but we're going broke. These people are saying we can just keep putting it off. The American people sense disaster coming, and I think, as we saw in August, the result of what happened with the super committee will be to drive up the disenchantment both with the president, the Congress, and both parties, and the willingness of people to say, give us another alternative. And they're going to get 2 or 3 of them the way this is going.
But if people remember the latest thing you've done for them or not done for them, and in this case, it's reining in these airline fees, which, as you said, as a frequent traveler, I'm a little surprised because I always thought you took private jets, but be that as it may, that if this is something that has really irked a lot of Americans and they've got a handle on it, then Americans will remember that and say, well, at least they got that addressed. What do you say?
That's what they're doing. Look, I'm, as much as anyone, I'm offended by what the airlines have done.
Right.
And they could have dealt with this 2 years ago, last year. No, this is bread and circuses. We can't give you a job. We can't give you a future for your children. But boy, well, now we'll take care of your baggage fees. Meanwhile, when they're not all up there using insider trading for their own accounts. This country has had it with their political class.
Okay.
And this failure is a mockery to the American people.
Patrick, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving regardless. I hope you're not taking a commercial flight.
I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving.
All right.